Welcome to MR.SNACKS Soul Cafe. My name is Hiroshi, as you know, and I have been away for a while visiting my daughters and grandchildren in LA Thanksgiving week for about 9-10 days, and also working and doing other projects as I was away and helping a dear friend with their podcast production. And so I'm back, right? I want to do some more on the illusion of the Bible and Christianity. I want to continue that. But this subject came up inspired by my daughters and my conversations with them. And decided to share on this and build on what we talked about. I had a short but very informative talk with a dear friend a few days ago. Also received calls and messages from other friends in regards to my podcast. All positive to a point. One dear friend said, "I don't agree with you, Hiroshi, but you made me think." Another, a Christian, responded and said, "I just don't accept what you shared, and we just think differently, and I don't agree with you. I have my beliefs, and that is it." Another, what I've shared makes sense, but they'll continue to believe what they believe. And so really, all is fine with me. It's an awakening as it deepens for me. I'm not trying to convert anyone to my religion because I don't have one. I'm not trying to make one believe what I believe because beliefs are all illusory to me and not real. They come and go. They disappear in sleep, don't they? Deep sleep, do you have a belief? If it was real, it would always be there. Like thoughts. Thoughts aren't real. They were real, they would be permanent, eternal. But where's the thought you had 10 minutes ago? It's gone, so how can it be real? So anyway, beliefs are just opinions shared by more than one. That's a belief. And so in turn, what most, and they mean well, they state that don't confuse me, Hiroshi, with the facts, as I've already made up my mind. Seems to be the stance by most. So with that, I continue to share because that is what's happening. And hopefully eyes will be open and one can go and investigate and inquire. Don't take what I said just because I said it. Look for yourself. And I would say, look at nature. There are flowers that blossom, but not all at the same time. Some will blossom sooner than others. Others may not blossom at all. Every seed you plant in the ground doesn't grow. The same with the political arena. I used to share on Facebook, and then I was warned and threatened with being banned for what they call fact check and fake news. And in my posting, I quoted medical experts and even people in power on the virus and various subjects. And it just didn't fit with the agenda of the mainstream media, which I labeled the mainstream media the virus and offended some people. Lost a few friends in the process because I said some positive things that Trump has done in office. And it's so obvious to me the bias in the media. Another thing is I was not for the Black Lives Matter movement, based on the founders. For one thing, among many, they were proclaimed Marxist. I saw the video, I heard them. And so the movement to me was hypocritical. But I have no problems with those that are for that. What can I do? And I wouldn't want to change them anyway. It is what it is, right? So yeah, I looked into it. The funds contributed. I went to the website, went to support not blacks, but the Democratic Party and their agenda. Okay, so, but even if I presented it to someone else, they can easily say, "Oh, I don't believe that," or "That's fake news." So everything's really relative. Right? Anyway, back to the Trump thing, Trump being a racist. And You see, this calls for research and not listening to CNN, which I call two things: Chinese news network or the comedy news network. I don't have a TV, don't own one, haven't owned one for 25, 30 years. But if that's your source for truth, then I can understand where you're coming from. You know? I saw photos, I saw videos of Trump with various black celebrities, rappers, black leaders, heard interviews where the blacks that were being interviewed about Trump, none said he was a racist. They admired his business sense. Most admired him. It was not until he won the election over Hillary and the tables turned. This was obvious to me. A big lie in propaganda. Now to this day, the media, CNN, NBC, Fox, others have their agenda, and was amazed that the masses could not see it. So I tried to have some sort of light, but to no avail. It was not that I had the truth, but I saw the false and the fake in the propaganda exposed. And I didn't want to get banned. And like I said, people will believe what they believe, and to hell with the facts. And it doesn't matter. And I wrote a great song with that title, It Doesn't Matter. So my position is, I share if you agree, great. If not, great. As the movie Gone with the Wind, one of my favorites of all time, with the famous line, Clark Gable, frankly, I don't give a damn, really. Am I upset or angry or disappointed? Was a few times, but not at all. What is seen is obvious now to me. Life doesn't pay attention to what man thinks or believes. Christians will believe that God wrote the Bible and it's the perfect book when I or others show the obvious errors and contradictions which prove that it is not a perfect book, not written by the perfect author. And we don't have the originals, as I've covered in the past, but copies of copies that have been tampered with. Take a course on textual criticism. Google, look at the manuscripts, the photographs of the manuscripts. And you will see there's alterations, corrections, additions. Yet, when I present this or share this, as I've done, it will be ignored. So what's the use? Wow, what a great learning experience. And people in general, all of us are guilty of this, want to be told nice things, nothing contrary to our beliefs, our opinions. And all is cool. You'll keep friendships going that way. Just say the right things. Tell them what they want to hear, and you'll remain friends. So my sharing is just an expression. And as a sage shared with me, everyone is right in their own mind. I'll repeat, everyone is right in their own mind. Right and wrong are just concepts in the illusory mind. And the mind is not in life. Is there right and wrong? Are there labels in life? Or is it the mind that labels everything? That's a tree. Did the tree come and tell you it's a tree? You see? So let's begin. Let's start with the Trump thing. Let me begin with, I didn't vote in the last election. You got that? Shame, right? I haven't voted for many years. I don't even think I ever voted in any election, maybe one. I did lie, I confess to some that asked me if I voted, just to keep the peace. Why? Because I learned long ago from sages and especially teachers. Thanks to a dear lady friend in LA who was a historian, spoke about 6 languages, from Armenia. We hung out together. And she turned me on to a bookstore in LA that sold banned books. Banned books, yes. So much for freedom of the press. BS. Still continues today. ban videos from YouTube, you know. Conservatives with their accounts being deleted on social media. You've heard about that. If you don't tune in NBC and CNN, this has happened. So why not vote? Well, if one studies history, FDR said the President of the United States is not elected, but selected. One of the many banned books I read that she told me to go get was, I think, the original Tragedy of Hope. It's been altered and republished and all that. It's by Carol Quigley, who was a mentor to Bill Clinton. Other books were Secret Societies and books on vaccinations and you know, everything is just happening. The movie on the screen, including the thought story. There's an apparent choosing in this play. If someone says, do you want a latte? And you say yes. If we can just switch the movie soundtrack off for a minute, there's someone standing there. Next minute, there's a latte arriving and then the drinking of it. It's just that the soundtrack, including the thoughts about choosing, is added in. Everything is running on autopilot, but there is the appearance of choosing, which is the entertainment. The appearance of choosing Trump or not choosing Trump, Biden, Democrat, Republican, Christianity, Muslim. It's just entertainment. Jesus even referred to the masses as sheep. Was that a compliment? Well, sheep are dumb animals, aren't they? And it's not a put down, it's just the way what it is. I mean, observe sheep. Oh, time is running out. I better move quickly. I guess I'll have to be in part 2. I would say it's all a play, all scripted. Even the sages have said that that life is a play of light and sound. Just nothing but energy. Everything is energy, movement of energy, constantly transforming. And the mind labels the movement of energy, anger, happiness, good, bad, so forth and so on. All right? So back to Trump, okay? So he addressed in this interview that the military will distribute the vaccination, or the vaccine, which should be by the end of this year or next year, to everyone in the population. Everyone except them, right? Oh, but Hiroshi, Obama, and Bush and other leaders have said they will take the vaccine in front of everyone on TV to show it is safe. If you believe that, I have a plot of land in Florida for you. You still trust the politicians? Give me a break. Really. And Trump said everyone needs to get this shot. They're pushing this down. It will be mandatory eventually. And if you think the vaccine is good for you because Trump or the scientists that are paid are telling you that it has been tested positively and is good for you, we need to wake up. Other experts have come forward and been silenced. One doctor lost his license because he opposed it. So, and I have shared in the past, it's two wings of the same bird. Check out the Bible even. It talks in Psalm 2 of the people's plot. They rise up in vain against those rulers, the kings of the earth. And the rulers, what do? They band together. Sounds like globalism. Against the Lord and his anointed. The masses are enslaved. The scripture doesn't say everyone except for Donald Trump or Joe Biden. They're the only ones out there doing God's will. So is it God's will for all to get stuck with a needle? Well, whatever is meant to happen will happen. The search for the end of problems is never ending because there will always be a new problem. Take care.